Small business owners is what we want to talk about now. As you know, they are scrambling to get loans to keep their businesses afloat during the pandemic. Congress is considering a plan to give them another $250 billion, but the details on that still really need to be worked out. Goldman Sachs, though, is committing $550 million to the relief efforts. The company's chairman and CEO, that would be David Solomon, joins us for his first, there he is, network broadcast interview. Good morning to you, David Solomon. Very good to see you.
Hi, Gail. Thank you for having me. I'm delighted to be on the show this morning.
No, we're glad to have you. Listen, I know Goldman Sachs has been committed to small businesses for a very long time, but how did you all come up with the $550 million figure, and how exactly do you want to see that used?
So the CARES Act is allocating $350 billion to small businesses. As a bank, while we have a small consumer business where we take composites through Marcus online for consumers, we haven't had a business where we are a banker to small businesses. So we wanted to use our platform to try to find a way to get money into the hands of those small businesses who really need it. And so we first started by committing $25 million to help community development financial institutions, which are in a way like banks that work under the big banking system to get money into very small businesses, particularly in underserved communities and places where the large retail banks might not go. And the purpose of that $25 million grant was to help them be better prepared to get capital into small businesses they serve. We then said we would commit $250 million to do that lending through those institutions. And then we recently, just earlier this week, doubled that to $500 million so that we can help get that money quickly into these small businesses that need it so badly, Gail.
And David, they are very glad to hear that. But listen, I know you've heard this too. There are already complaints from business owners that say, look, I get on the phone, I can't get anybody on the phone. I go online, I can't get online. What are you doing? What can you do to make sure that the money that you want people to get, that they actually get? Because it is a problem.
Yeah, and so that's why we've chosen to work with these community development financial institutions. We feel like we're in a position where we can work with them directly to help them be better prepared, to give them training, skills, systems that will allow them to get that money out directly. The process that you're talking about where people are applying through other banks, that process is still getting up and running. We're hopeful that through this channel, we can get money out as quickly as possible to these very needy businesses. And I think there will be, Gail. I think there'll be improvements. I think the other banks are working very hard to get that system working so that money can get out to these small businesses. But this has really only been in place for a few days, and it's going to take a lot of focus, and I believe it's getting that focus and attention.
I hope so, too. Listen, I know you've been in touch with the White House. The president has said that he hopes, he believes that the country will open sooner rather than later. Do you see it that way, too, David?
Well, I think it's very important that first and foremost, we all take care of our people, we take care of each other. And the virus is a very serious threat. We will beat it. We will make progress. But I think the process of getting people back to work is going to be a slow and cautious one. I think we need to make progress on the virus. We definitely need improvement on access to testing. And we have to build confidence over time. And my own view is this is something that will gradually happen over time, but it's not something that's going to be like turning a light switch back on. The way we close down the economy to protect people from the virus, it's going to take a little bit longer for us to open up. But we are making progress. And at Goldman Sachs, we're spending a lot of time thinking about slowly, cautiously, how we can start to bring more of our people into the office in the coming months. But we're only going to do it if we feel that they're 100% safe and secure and that they feel safe and secure.
Yeah, listen, I know you don't have a crystal ball on your desk. I realize that. But how long, the job numbers are coming out in about an hour, later this morning. They're not expected to be good. How long do you think it'll take before we are really that we put the workers back on the jobs, your own employees included?
Yeah, well, I feel very, very good about the fact that we're in an organization where we have 98% of our people working from home, which is really remarkable. But they want to get back to work. We want to get them back to work. I think, though, that this is a process, Gail, where no one has a crystal ball. And I think the best way to think about it is to think about it as a gradual process as we make progress in slowing the spread of the disease, as we have improved testing in the coming months. And I believe, based on the medical experts that we're talking to, that we will see improved testing in the coming months, as we have better information, better data, as we can take better precautions, including masks and making sure people follow appropriate physical distancing. I do believe during the summer we'll start to bring certain parts of the economy back onto line. And we'll just have to work together and make it a gradual process.
I know, David, this has been a game changer for all of us. I never in a million years thought I'd be talking to you from my family room, and you're sitting where you're sitting right now. And so as knowing that it's a game changer, on the other side, what do you see the changes for your company on the other side? We all have to learn from this, and there will all be changes for all of us in how we do our business going forward.
Well, I agree with you. It's a game changer. I never expected to be talking to you from Goldman Sachs television studio where I can't even see you, Gail. I expected when we first got together to do this and you were asking to do it, I'd be sitting with you, having a face-to-face conversation. But we all adapt. We're all adapting well. I know there's a lot of discussion about what happens when we get past this and how it changes behavior in business. My own view is that's something that we can talk about when we get past this. People crave human interaction.
Fair enough.
And as we work through this, I think there'll be some changes. But at the same point, when people feel safe and secure, they want to be with other people. And I know we'll get to a place again where people can feel safe and secure and they can interact from a business perspective and socially. And I look forward to that, as I know you and all the viewers do too.
Well, David, listen, I look forward to a face-to-face because there's so much I want people to know about you. For instance, when you're not a financial guru and wizard, you are a EDM DJ. This guy, David Solomon, is a DJ on the side. I like that. There's a whole lot more to your story. Thank you very much for taking the time.